Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Kuhak Kadash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching this truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations. Like, for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person or so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got 3 videos lined up related to the mark of the beast. The 3 brothers, I'm going to lay them back on these 3 brothers' videos. I'm going to play these videos. I'm going to get into the scripture my best ability. Say whatever God say through spirit and power. Yahweh Shema Shah, the Holy Spirit of Kurhak Kadash, Lord willing and be on me. Let's get it. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or it could be in your left, or in your feet, or in your butt cheeks, or your titty, big titty, small titty, or in your or in your man boobs. If a man got titties too, it can be put in there too if you like it weird. But also in their foreheads, or in their foreheads. Now, I'm trying to add anything in the scripture, but the chip implant going to be a brain chip, and it's going to be one that's going to be about the size of a grain of rice. Yup, that's the RFID microchip implant, the mark of the beast, both of them. Anyway, next, get back to the video. In Revelation chapter 13, verse 17, and that man. And hold on, let me slow down. And that no man might buy or sell. So they're going to use this chip as a way of buying and selling, as your way of purchasing and also identifying who you are. And then they're going to use this same technology to track your ass. Yep, till the missiles come and destroy your ass. Save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So, yeah, the chip implant is the mark of the beast. You don't believe it? Watch the video.
I have noticed an increase in people's wallets getting stolen and people spending their debits and credit cards, tapping them. And like, I'm seeing stories like it's like frequent, more so than usual. And you know, there's reasons for everything. Same with the amount of fake bills that have been circulating around for a while now, like more so than usual. I mean, who do you really think is putting out those fake bills? Like, I really want
Esau, Amalek.
you to think about that for a second, okay? Now, same goes with the whole wallets being stolen and all of this. People now, you know, gonna get frustrated. You know what? I'm just gonna put everything on my phone. I'm not even going to bother carrying.
And then soon it's going to lead to that chip implant, because I know that what she going to lead to saying. When them chip implants, hey, they're going to say put it on your phone, and then the phone going to be a problem because people going to lose their phones. Phones going to be stolen, going to be broken. Then they're going to be like, hey, let's just put in a chip implant. Put inside a chip, put inside your body. Yeah. So the mark of the beast ain't going to end with your fucking phone for whoever believe that shit. Digital ID. Yeah, the real digital ID is going to be that damn implantable microchip.
Around, right? This is how it happens. People keep hearing this. Even if it doesn't happen to you, you keep hearing about it. Well, you know what? I don't want this to happen to me. I don't want people to steal from me. So I'm going to put all my cards on my phone and use my phone and not carry my cards around with me anymore. And then you know what's going to happen is
there's something going to happen with your phone.
You're probably going to have people's now phones getting stolen and people being able to access your stuff on your phone because they're going to figure out how to do it, and then all that's going to happen. And so that, you know, hey, let's create all of these problems because we're going to create the solution, right? So then what ends up happening is, what's the final thing? hey, we got a chip. You can put it right here. Right here. And it's gonna be your wallet. It's gonna have everything. Your IDs, your passport, your credit cards, your bank cards.
It'd be so convenient.
Everything. It's all right here. You just gotta tap it. Nobody can steal it because it's in you.
Unless they want to chop your hand off or kidnap your ass. But either way it goes, it won't matter. Your ass gonna be destroyed.
So many people don't see further down the line of like how things are, because it's like they present this one small little thing and it seems, okay, you know what, this is really actually great. This is really great. This works until it doesn't, and now we're too far fucking gone down the fucking line, and you're in transhumanism dystopian fucking timeline with your fucking Mark of the Beast.
But then don't forget about those missiles. Bring them nuclear warheads, or either just, if you don't die from that, you can die from any other kind of way. Pretty much gonna be judgment for your ass if you take that chip implant. So pretty much, you take the chip, your ass gonna take a dip in that lake of fire burning with brimstone. Your ass gonna be grass, gonna be mowed over by that lake of fire lawnmower. Let's get to the next video. Matter of fact, drink it. No, I'm not gonna say drink. I meant to say, let me read this, because I'm saying drink because they're drinking the wrath of the Lord, drinking the wine of the wrath of God, Yahweh. I was reading that and I said drink out too loud. Revelation chapter 14 verse 9. And let me see. No, should I read that? The false angel of Babylon is falling. I'll start with 8. No. I'll start with 7. Saying with a loud voice, fear God Yahweh and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of waters. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon, referring to America, is fallen, that great city. Yeah, America is considered to be a city. You can roam whenever you want to in this country. It's a big ass city. That's all it is a big ass city. It's like a free world, like it's Grand Theft Auto or some shit. Or what that other game called? That's kind of like Grand Theft Auto, the Western one. Red Dead Redemption is like a free world, open world where you can just walk around. But soon it won't be for long, especially when they lock this bitch down. But anyway, because he made all the nations drink of the wine, talking about that philosophy, and the wrath of her fornication. So all these other nations, they freaking off, because they freaking out, because they took the ways of Babylon. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in their forehead or in their hands, talking about them chip implants, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God Yahweh. They're going to be destruction, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels. So for you dumbass Christians saying, oh, they're going to be sending you to hell. What the hell the angels doing in hell, nigga? And in the presence of the Lamb. Who the Lamb? Who the world and called? Gee, but what the fuck he doing in heaven? I mean hell. There ain't no hell. There ain't gonna be nobody gonna be in no place burning in for eternity and shit. It's gonna be on earth, nigga. And the Lord's gonna be up above with the angels watching. In the chariots. Who the world calls UFOs. And you don't believe that shit? Hey man, sucks to be you, nigga. Hell, I'm about tired of these people. But yeah, man, the Lord gonna be here and gonna be up above. And the angels gonna be up above too with the 144,000 and the rest of the remnant of Israel. Watching high. While everybody down low, burn, baby, burn. Disco with Inferno. They're gonna be burning their ass up in that nuclear fire. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever. and they have no rest day or nor night, or worship the beast or his image, and whosoever receive the mark of his name. Here is the let me stop right there, because there's really no point of reading the rest, because the rest is cut off. But you get the point. The Lord is going to bring judgment to a lot of people taking them chip implants. It ain't just in America. It'll be a lot of places around the world, but most of the destruction going to be here in America, Babylon the Great, and it's going to be nuclear destruction in this bitch. Let's get to this video.
What was once confined to science fiction movies.
Hey man, don't get mad if you feel salty and mad about what I say. Then fly away, bitch. I mean, I'm not the one that written the Bible. Shit, I ain't the one who inspired men to write the Bible. No, this the Lord saying that these things are happening. I mean, I'm just a messenger, letting you know this is what's going on. It's clear. We coming into a time where this is real. Chip implants being implemented, and they talking about World War III with nukes. Hey, we in World War III. Anyway, back to the video.
This may be a little uncomfortable. Just implanted a radium diode. They're the access codes to your drop spot.
Is now reality for a bunch of Sydney tech heads.
Pay, open doors, and had my business card in there as well.
Remy Baker and Mitch Hunter from PhD Media are being microchipped to simplify their lives.
My work pass and potentially my Opal, which will allow me access to my office to use the printer, to use the scanner. We won't need any ID cards, we won't need any PIN codes, we won't need any sort of access cards or anything, so we can live a much sort of freer life.
The microchip, which is the size of a grain of rice, sits under the skin.
Point. Yeah, that little thing about the size of a grain of rice. That's all they need. Oh yeah, by the way, coming from this brother's channel, I ain't gonna tell you to like and subscribe, but it's worth watching or subscribing anyway and watching other videos and be edified. But yeah, there go the title of the video. And hold on, wait a minute. What's on his tattoo? They look like some Yiddish.
Data from your bank.
Yeah, they look like some Yiddish tattoo shit. It could be.
Card payment method, building swipe, LinkedIn profile or medical history is cloned onto the chip, which is implanted in the hand. Using the same technology as tap and pay cards, the chip can then be used to open security doors, pay for a coffee, use public transport, and access information you've programmed onto the chip. This technology also has the potential to save lives. Skeeve has loaded medical data onto the chip in his hand, so if he was found unconscious, all you'd need to do is get a phone, tap it on his hand, and you'd have access to medical data like his blood type as well as any allergies he has. For those concerned about privacy, the user controls what data is made available. Visa says it's possible for any device to become enabled for payments, but the
Ain't buy or sell unless he have the mark. What it says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast. So if you don't have this chip implant, you can't live in society. Yep.
chip would need to.
But hey, if you got the Lord, you got Yahweh Shema Rashad, the Lord be with you. You ain't got to worry about this shit.
Meet visa security standards and be issued.
And I hope and pray, hey, speaking of myself, you better do, hey, for yourself too, for you and for me. I mean, I say I hope the Lord be with me. Shoot.
By a bank. But before you jump
And you better hope the Lord be with you too.
on the tech bandwagon, beware, it could also land you in trouble with the law. Niall Ludo copped a fine from Transport New South Wales after implanting his Opal microchip in his hand.
I got caught on the train and they've given me a fine for not having a valid ticket. So we discussed it
Wow. Yeah.
a little bit. The transit officers were actually really lovely, but now we're taking it to court.
If that's not appealing, there's always the old-fashioned way. Sophie Walsh, 9 News.
The old-fashioned way gonna be done away with. Ain't gonna be no more of that old-fashioned shit.
Shalom, Kala Yahweh, Bashem Yashai, Bashem Kopradosh. Good morning to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, who the house of David reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And before losing our true heritage, we were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. This lesson is going to be real quick, Akim. So we just watched the video, which is from Australia, which, if you've been paying attention, you know that Australia is one of the countries that, for the most part, is going through the New World Order transition first. them in Canada, and it's likely because the word provinces are basically still controlled by England, and this whole mandate for the New World Order, whatever, it's coming out of England, right? The king over there and all those people, them along with the other top Edomites. And when I say Edomites, I'm talking about the so-called Caucasian race, right? Because predominantly the Caucasian race is made up of the biblical Edomites. Now, there's many, Edomites, or what you would consider Caucasian people today, which are not Caucasians, Italians, a lot of Polish, a lot of German, But the point being is that we just watched them start to normalize and push out propaganda to push the advantages of the mark of the beast. In this case, they said the chip will save your life. So you see, this is the type of rhetoric that you're going to be able to expect from these Edomites, right? When they start bringing this here to the States or anywhere else in the world, because this is going to go worldwide, right? They're going to make having this chip seem like the next best thing, right? Right now, it's just news reports, right, telling you, what benefits you are. We constantly, and this is how you can tell it's a script, right? It's all coming from the same source, because when they ever talk about the chip, the mark of the beast, they always say it's the size of a grain of rice. Right? I wouldn't be surprised if there's something behind that. But the point being is that
they say that a lot. It's the size of a grain of rice to make it seem like it's so small. It's so small. Getting it installed inside your body, I'm talking like you a goddamn motherboard. You getting a new memory card put on, graphics card put on in your body. No, I'm just saying install, like they put it inside, underneath your skin, inside your body, and they're making it seem like it's such a small thing. It'd be like painless. They try to ready people when they say that a lot. It's the size of a grain of rice, and it won't hurt at all. You'll barely feel it when you get it. And you feel that nuclear fire on your ass when you get that. And especially when you get that chip implant.
That in itself shows you that this is a similar agenda being pushed worldwide, which is why they always mention that particular line. It's as small as a grain of rice, or smaller than a grain of rice. But either way, this is the mark of the beast. This is what the Bible warned us about right here. This is Revelations 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here's the wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. This is where 666 comes from. Now, notice in that news clip, it told you that you could be able to buy and sell. I just had a conversation earlier online with a brother, and he said, or he had mentioned how a lot of these, snake jabs that people have been injected into them, there's a Japanese study showing that there are nanobots or nano structures that are being built from them, right? And he had alluded that that was the MOTB, right, the mark, but it's not, because, again, there's certain prerequisites that the mark has to do. Right? That is, as you just see highlighted here, you have to be able to buy and sell with it. Right? Without this thing called the mark, you will not be able to buy or sell in the society. We also understand that by it being implanted into you fulfills the nomen omen, or basically the Hebrew definition for the word, right? The mark, which is charagma, right? It's a Greek for like a palisade or a sharp thing. Let's actually get it real quick. And let's go to the Blue Letter Bible. It's
Strong's G 5480. Charagma.
Right here it tells you it's charagma, right? And when you go into it, it tells you it says a stamp, an imprinted mark, right? A mark branded upon horses. But in this case, we want to look a little bit deeper, right? It tells you it says a charagma from the same as G 4482, which I think that's the root word, right? Karax, which that word comes from. And when you break down the root word, it tells you it's a scratch or an etching, a stamp, a badge, right? That's a graven mark. But when you go into it, let's go real quick. It tells you, it says a pale or a stake, a palisade. And when you know what a palisade is, it's basically where you get a 4x4 and you cut it off in the tip to make it pointy, right? Like a pyramid, right? Something that you stab somebody with, right? So that is what you're ultimately looking for. You're looking for something that fits this criteria. Right? So you're not going to be able to, like the apostles say, man, you're not going to be able to buy, a bag of chips with sinning, right? They're not going to ask you to, commit a sin, to buy your groceries. Okay? They're not going to make you bow down and kiss Cesare Borgia's picture before they'll let you walk out with your, cans of soda and shit. So, but the point being is that what we just watched, that microchip, the implantable RFID chips, that they're gonna go in your hand, or the Neuralinks and all the brain chip implants that they've been working on recently, they're gonna go into your head. This is gonna fulfill the ritual of the prophecy of this, but also the ritual described in Exodus, that if a slave loves his master and wants to stay with him forever, how he has to basically let the master strike his ear through with an awl, basically like a spike or a palisade, right? Hence fulfilling that ritual. And the thing is if you take this chip, the reason why it doesn't matter if you take it out or not, like these other camps are saying falsely, because again, if you take this chip, there's no going back. You can't repent from this. Okay, it tells us very clearly in the next verse, or the next chapter, excuse me. It's 7, right here, actually 9. This is Revelations 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast or his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, and in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night, who worship the beast and his image, and who receiveth the mark of his name. Okay, so there's no coming back from taking that chip, right? So I just wanted to, show this lesson. I came to show that we're in these days, man. You can see they're setting fires here in California. They're causing all this chaos around the United States from the migrants, increasing crimes, people committing more like crimes like check fraud with that whole Citibank glitch bullshit that they fucking got a bunch of you jakes being ignorant as fuck. Right, they got you guys, man. You guys now are going to be taken away or dinged for check fraud and shit, man. And some jakes out there have fucking like $30,000-$60,000 of fucking debt. What the hell are you doing, man? But our people are freaking Scottish, as the Lord says, man. Right? Which means stupid. But either way, let's read this. This is 1 Peter 5:8. Be sober and be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, is as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. And like I just said, man, all these get-rich-quick schemes and all these hustle culture, bullshit that our people do to each other, or get involved, or think that they're gonna be able to make money or make a kingdom, or build their empire in this fucking wicked ass kingdom. That ain't gonna happen. That time is over, man. Even if you're not in this truth, if you can't realize that America's time is done, then if you want to make something, you got to go to the other places in the world that are prospering, right? Africa, China, right? Even Russia with their increased GDP. It's over for fucking America. This is why the elites have all gotten out. Why Warren Buffett moved to China, while fucking Mark Zuckerberg fucking moved to Hawaii. Peter Thiel moved to Australia. Bill Gates is only buying fucking land here for farming. He's not going to live here. His ass is going to probably live over in Switzerland or wherever. So this is going to be the farm for the slaves according to their plans. But they don't realize this is going to be the lake of fire. America is going to be destroyed in the coming World War III, which is currently building up. Okay, we're there, Akin. We're in the last days. So this is a time for us to, like it says here, right? Be sober, be vigilant. Meaning we got to keep our head on a swivel, understand what's going on, watch news, and make sure you're doing what you got to do, so that way you stay in the good grace of the Lord. So with all that, let's go and give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yashai, Bashem, Kobardash. Shalom.
The Earth Summit Environmental Leadership Act, as this is known, presents us with an opportunity to follow up on the important work of the Earth Summit to develop its blueprint, Agenda 21, for global environmental action. HCON Res 353 outlines a comprehensive national strategy for sustainable development in accordance with the principles of Agenda 21, to be coordinated under the leadership of a specific office and the direction of a high-level government official. The resolution also urges the United States to identify and initiate further agreements to protect the global environment and to support the creation of a high-level United Nations Sustainable Development Commission headed by an Undersecretary General. Third and lastly, the President is urged to report to Congress on the progress made on with this action. HCON Res 353 is supported by the administration.
We are headed down the fucking slide into the mouth of the beast. Okay, Agenda 2030, let's get into it because I talk about it in a lot of my other videos. But in a nutshell, it's 17 sustainable goals, which is going to take away your freedom to travel, because only the rich will be able to do so. It's going to take away your freedom to drive anywhere you want to, because they're installing this system in the cars where they can just shut it down remotely. They're going to control what you can buy and when you can buy it. And they're basically going to put you on 24-hour surveillance where nothing you do is private anymore. They're going to be monitoring your conversations, your DMs. Nothing will be private. Okay? Your entire life will be in one like citizen score, not no credit score. Like everything you've ever done, if you've ever jaywalked, if you don't pay your bills on time, if you, I don't know, slapped your mama, okay? They're going to know every little thing that you've done, and they're going to put you in a category and say how much of a good citizen you are. Okay? You're a bad citizen, you can't buy nothing. Oh, today we don't want you to buy food. Oh, you're not eligible to travel to this part of the city because you don't make enough money. Okay? You're late on your light bill. We're not going to allow you to go over here and see so-and-so at the hospital. Stuff like that. Like, that's how bad it's going to be, you guys. That's how bad it's going to be. And you guys are lackadaisical. You still going to work. You still feeding into the system. We're not building anything outside of it for ourselves so that we're not dependent on the government for anything. And that's what it's going to be. Right now, in this very minute, if they wanted to, they could shut your water off, your power off, and they could shut your car down. What you going to do? How you going to feed your family? See what I'm saying? Y'all need to be focusing on other things, learning skills, okay? Y'all need to be thinking about saying no to digital.
The problem is, people are not focused on these things. They're focused on FIFA, NBA Finals, Pride Month, that fag shit. What else they focus on? There's a whole bunch of varieties of bread and circus and folly, and they're in their minds are in the mirth. They're not into the morning. No, they're in the mirth. Well, I'm talking about you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds.
IDs, because once everybody has a digital ID, it's game over.
And they got all this shit while people are living it up with so much distractions. Damn, they are passing more laws like a mother. And it ain't just here in America, all over the world. Heck yeah.
And I've been telling you,
don't think that they're being moving slow with this digital prison shit. Cause no, they moving fast with it, because you know this devil has a short time, so he gotta hurry it up.
Daughters, get it in your fucking skulls. Can't make it more clear than that.
Many people still won't get it. What is it? Psalm chapter 10, GNT, verse 1. Why are you so far away, O Lord, Yahweh? Why do you hide yourself when we are in trouble? The wicked are proud and persecute the persecute the poor. Catch them in the traps they have made. The wicked are proud of their evil desires. The greedy curse and reject the Lord Yahweh. The wicked do not care about the Lord Yahweh. In their pride, they think that God doesn't matter. The wicked succeed in everything. They cannot understand God's Yahweh judgments. They sneer at his enemies. They say to themselves, we will never fall or fail. We will never be in trouble. Their speech is filled with curses, lies, and threats. They are quick to speak hateful, evil words. They hide themselves in the villages, waiting to murder innocent people. They spy on their helpless victims.
This is the agenda for the 21st century, hence its name. These are from its own documents of various kinds. Agenda 21 involves this. An end to national sovereignty.
And all that's Esau right there for you what I just read.
State planning and management of land resources, ecosystems, deserts, forests, mountains, oceans and fresh water, agriculture, rural development, biotechnology, and ensuring equity, i.e. equal slavery. People told what their job will be, major restrictions on movement, creation of human settlement zones, get to them as we go along, mass resettlement of people who are forced to vacate land where they currently live, dumbing down education, mass global depopulation in pursuit of all of the above. This is a map of America as desired and projected by the Biosphere Programs and World Heritage Program. And whenever you see diversity or sustainability or Agenda 21, they're just into connecting interchangeable terms. So
pretty much everybody gonna be tied into this shit.
The red on this map of America is designed to be core reserves and corridors with little to no human use. Can you imagine the numbers of people to be removed to make that possible? Then you've got all the yellow bits, buffer zones, highly regulated use. And normal use are just the green bits. Look at it across America, 300 odd million people. And the idea is to make vast areas of land, ban it from human use and human activity on the basis of saving the environment, when what it is taking it all over for the less than 1%. What they want to do is concentrate the masses in high-rise, ultra tiny boxes.
Pretty much a smart city. Oh, I was watching a video. I didn't know if I was going to put it on YouTube, because at first, let me see if I can find that shit. I think it was yesterday. I had saved it on my watch later, but I deleted it because I didn't feel like it was really there. Here you go. Urban hell, but it gets worse. They showed this one building. They had like, I think it was in China.
Booking.com, booking.yeah.
Come on, nigga.
When deciding to...
Oh, man, I don't even want to give a fuck about this faggot. Oh, big muscle head faggot.
Time. This is what happens.
Goddamn Jake, and he an Israelite. But this nigga here, the Lord gonna kill that big faggot nigga. Yeah, this shit right here. How this place holds 30,000 people. This bitch is big as fuck. Look at this shit. And this is something that's beautiful to the east side. Like, put all them mother suckers in that building. Goodness gracious, bro. And it's probably more than 30,000, probably more than that.
Only one more building to deliver mail to, then you realize it's this building. If everyone has a letter, the mailman would need like 2 days to deliver them all. On a serious note, they probably have pretty advanced delivery systems inside, like lockers downstairs with QR codes, maybe even delivery robots.
There's a mega apartment, whatever you call it. Damn.
And odds are even the pizza
business. Can you imagine earthquake? Woo-wee, you already know. If one level, like at the bottom, goes, or say if the middle section goes, and it's lose support, then that shit just go bloom, 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 bloom. Yeah.
Business is inside the building. And that's because nearly 30,000 people live inside this single structure. That's the population of a small town, just compressed into one building. At this point, I think it should classify itself as its own city. From the outside, it looks like a beehive or an ant colony for humans.
Some damn Judge Dredd shit.
This is
Judge, where they had the mega city, or the mega apartment complex, whatever you call it. Shit, everybody in that bitch. And then, oh yeah, there'd be lockdowns, curfews. They locked that whole bitch down.
International in Hangzhou, originally designed as a luxury hotel before being turned into housing. It looks like one continuous wall of balconies, repeated floor after floor until your eyes just give up trying to count them. And you can kind of see the scale in the little details, like hanging laundry and tiny signs of thousands of separate lives packed together. It almost feels like a modern-day version of Kowloon Walled City, except this one is actually legal. The building curves in a huge S shape, like it's trying to wrap around itself just to fit even more people inside. It rises around 200 meters with nearly 40 floors, but the real scale here is not the height, it's the density. Inside, it's built to function like its own ecosystem. There are shops, food courts, salons, and even small supermarkets, so people don't really need to leave that often. You could wake up, eat, work, shop, and go back to sleep without ever touching the outside world. Some people like that convenience. I just want to know what the water pressure is like at shower time.
Yep. That's what I want you to put you in, something like that. In that box or boxes, or in the box that's 6 feet deep, or maybe less than. They ain't got time to bury people. And not even in a box. They just throw your ass in there and throw some lime on the body and cover your ass up with a whole bunch of other people stacked up on top of you. Anyway.
Where they can be under surveillance 24/7. Now, get the people off the land. And so what they're doing, they're changing the laws and they're making economic changes which make it impossible for those that are not of the elite to stay on the land. And so what they're doing under Agenda 21 and America is the primest example, is they're just not funding rural communities. They're not funding rural schools, they're not mending rural roads to make life impossible, to get people off the land. Now this is a big area where people get scammed because they don't think that is possible, manipulating the weather to create extremes of weather to get people into situations that remove them from the land. But actually Dr. Richard Day was actually a weather manipulator during the Second World War. People say it's not possible. Of course it's possible. It's happening. It goes way back. Even a BBC radio documentary exposed a few years ago that the Lynmouth flood in 1952, which killed people and devastated that village in Devon, was actually created by the RAF, who were doing an operation called Operation Cumulus, also known as Operation Witch Doctor, in which they were putting sulfur into the atmosphere above this, in this area. And actually people before the massive flood say they kind of tasted and smelled sulfur in the air. And what it did was create an enormous rainstorm, which created the flood, which created the Lynmouth disaster. This is 1996, an official US Air Force document describing the artificial creation of floods, hurricanes, droughts and earthquakes, and it continues, weather modification will become a part of domestic and international security and could be done unilaterally. It could have offensive or defensive applications and even be used for deterrence purposes. The ability to generate precipitation, fog and storms on Earth or to modify space weather and the production of artificial weather are all part of an integrated set of military technologies. They are manipulating the weather like crazy. This is Agenda 21, human settlement zones. As you saw, it's in their own documents.
This is my cold water pressure in the kitchen. This is where I fill up water for storage. Those are the things we have to fill up to flush the toilets.
So you can see the sediment from the data center. Wow, and that's just from the water coming out of your faucet?
Yeah, and this is what's in all the pipes.
Just the well itself is probably $20,000, and that's not counting any of the
all the
faucets.
replacement of the fixtures and faucets and toilets and the lines that come underneath the house. It's overwhelming because you really feel like you are up against this huge wall that you can't penetrate. There's nothing that you can do, and they don't care.
I'm here in Mansfield, Georgia, driving by Meta's new 2 million square foot data center facility. Facilities like this are being used to power things like ChatGPT and other AI tools that are becoming integrated into our daily life.
Data centers going to be a very hot item.
This entire supercomputer is built to power Grok.
We see data centers as the most exciting asset class.
Meta is building a 2 gigawatt plus data center that is so large it would cover a significant part of Manhattan.
But data centers come with big costs, from light and noise pollution to the environmental impacts, to the potential rising costs of energy bills. These facilities put extraordinary demand on the power grid and require entirely new infrastructure.
Oh my God. They should be responsible for that, not us.
Search the internet for profits that Meta has made, Amazon, Microsoft. They can afford to pay for their own generation.
We came to Georgia to ask 2 questions. What's the true cost of the AI revolution, and who should be paying for it? Your house is here, and the data center's right there.
It's less than 400 yards.
Beverly and Jeff Morris bought their home an hour's drive from downtown Atlanta in 2016, but their roots in the community run much deeper.
Being in the country has always just been my peace and my therapy. When we found this place, we decided that this was it. It was perfect.
I was actually raised probably 5 miles from here. It felt like coming home.
The data center that's now the Morris' next-door neighbor happens to be owned by Meta, the company you know for Facebook and Instagram, but has also been breaking into artificial intelligence. They started construction on this data center campus in 2018.
Definitely changed everything. They destroyed the environment, taking down all the trees across the road.
Beautiful pines, beautiful forest.
The light pollution is...
You don't have to have a night light in the house. You can walk around the house at night and see everything. It's that bright.
This is a video of the dust from Facebook where the construction was. What it looks like right now out my front door. The wind blowing in all of this stuff from across the construction, across the road.
This is all from Meta.
Yeah, I was standing on my front porch I think eventually that affected our well water. We're on a well here, and we started having issues with our well in 2018. I have to replace a hot water heater. I've replaced 2 washing machines and a dishwasher because of the sediment that's coming in.
A lot of what the Morrises are facing is from the polluting effects of this massive construction, but that's only one part of the story. There are serious costs to communities once data centers are operational too. To explain that, we have to back up for a second. I wouldn't blame you if you were asking yourself, what the heck is a data center anyway? Their origins date back to early, clunky supercomputers or mainframes in the 1950s and 60s. And then in the 90s, with the birth of the internet, the modern data center was born as a way for internet providers to connect businesses and the world to the web. In the 2010s, data centers became larger as they became critical to new cloud storage.
To the cloud. With the cloud, we share a sync folder that allows us to all work on the same documents.
Everything from your pet photos to entire workplaces to files for video streaming, like this video you're watching right now. We're in the cloud. Today, we are in the midst of a tectonic shift in processing needs, as large as the birth of the internet, artificial intelligence.
A transformational moment for data center demand.
But the thing is, AI processing demands are much larger. One report showed that a Google search using a ChatGPT-like AI feature used 30 times as much power as a normal Google search. In the next 3 years, data center use of electricity is expected to double or even triple. And the state of Georgia has the fastest data center growth in the entire country.
The 2 biggest reasons data centers come to Georgia are that electricity rates for industrials, which is the class that they're in, are 42% below the national average. And the second biggest one are data center tax breaks. They received over $180 million in tax breaks last year.
The week we were in Georgia, a showdown was happening at the state capitol over 2 bills tied to data centers.
Senator Hofstadter had proposed 2 different bills, and one of them was SB 34, which was the data centers bill, to move the burden of the operational costs of data centers from ratepayers.
There's a lot of people getting paid for this shit. From governors, mayors, whoever. These niggas getting paid for this shit. Meanwhile, the people they already suffer, not going to. They already suffer and suffer more. Hell, can you imagine living next to 2 data centers? There'd be like one here and there's one on the one direction and one on the other direction. I mean, one is enough, but damn, make it. I don't know how this set up having 2, but they probably could make that happen. That'd be shitty.
To the data center themselves.
And what is SB 94?
You know all this data center shit is for the enslavement of you Americans. Yep.
That is the Consumer Utility Council, a legal advocate for ratepayers and small businesses.
Bills like these are the result of mounting residential anger and the work of dedicated advocates across the state, like Diana Dietz, who lives 50 miles away from the Capitol in Fayette County.
This is a huge industrial project, plopped in a residential.
They got one in Fayette County. I forgot what I think Fayetteville. And then you got one in Social Circle. And you got one in Madison. Then you got one in, what is that? Was it Greensville? I don't know how many data centers in Georgia. Probably like 20 of them. Maybe more than that. 50, maybe. It probably soon will be 50 by next year. Hopefully we don't get to next year. Hope this bitch be gone. America be destroyed.
Area. This was the original plan, 122 acres. And then the Development Authority.
Let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me see. How many data centers are there in Georgia? Oh shit. What the fuck? 10. Nigga, that's 150 to 280 operating and planned data centers. Because there is no comprehensive state oversight. How many more data centers are being planned to be built in Georgia? So they say 141 new data centers are planned and or approved. So there's gonna be more put up here. I thought it was like 10 or 20. Hell no. I'm way low. But I know it was like I don't know how many. Hold on, let me see. How many data centers were there in Georgia at the year of 2020? I was like 2020. Yep, 60 to 70 in operation. I was trying to think. I should have said 2015 or something. How many data centers exist in Georgia in 2015? No, what? how the hell is it 50 to 100 data centers? Which one is it? And then the last one I asked, the last question I asked was in 2020. They say 60 to 70. How can it be? I don't know. See, here you go right here. It says industry record suggests that their estimate see, yeah, 60 or 70 data centers in operation statewide. But then this one says 50 to 100. I don't know, man. And this was freaking 2015. I guess they saying 20. Well, anyway. Ah, shit.
We got involved.
In 2022, officials in Fayette County voted to annex and rezone an additional 412 acres for a data center campus. Fayetteville City Council voted 5-0 in favor of the development, despite passionate opposition from some local residents. The site was then purchased by QTS, which is owned by Blackstone, for $153.8 million.
These speculators, investors, are secretly buying up land right next to homeowners. And it was all done so that when we all went to the 4 public hearings between the county and the city, it was a done deal. This is the one that's currently under construction, and this is where Gene and Joe are.
Gene and Joe Marshall live on the edge of Fayetteville in Fayette County on an 8-acre property.
This driveway is almost the line for Fayette County versus Fayetteville, where QTS's property is located. We have absolutely no say in anything that happens over here.
Despite their vocal opposition to the project, living next to construction on all sides of their home has become their daily reality for the last 2 years.
They do nightly pours over here, and in the back part at the other building, the lights are shining and there is noise. 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, so they don't stop. Oh yeah, sure.
We went to visit Nikki Vanderslice, who heads up the Fayette County Economic Development Authority, a non-governmental agency that played a central role in the marketing of the land for data center development.
For residents who live alongside these data centers, life has become very difficult. What do you say to them?
Well, I say to them that there's a couple of things. One, we were very transparent. The Development Authority was very open about attracting a data center, and there wasn't any resistance until it came to their property specifically.
Vanderslice says data centers are good for the community.
You know, she got a nice check.
Even if some don't see the benefits yet.
In 2021, that property paid $36,000 in property taxes total. In 2024,
Yeah, she got some of that money.
on raw land, it paid $1.13 million in property taxes. That contributed $760,000 to our local Board of Education. I'm apologetic that they're being impacted, but I also see the benefits of what the companies are doing and how
Yeah, and it benefiting their pockets from those small hatters.
how they're improving our economy. And so there's the balance that when you have, 200 out of 120,000 people,
But is it creating jobs too? Nope.
you have to balance what's the highest and best use for the whole of the community.
It's just the height of selfishness to imagine that one county's benefit to the huge detriment of 158 other counties in Georgia that now have to pay higher electric bills is okay. It's not okay.
And let's not forget about what is it doing with the water. If this shit is affecting the water.
Drives inequity, it's very immoral too.
That's Patty Durand, and as you can tell, she does not agree with Nikki Vanderslice. Patty is a longtime consumer advocate and expert on energy policy who's been raising the alarm about rising costs of electricity related to data centers.
Are data centers going to drive up energy costs for residents across the state?
On May 1st, Georgia Power residential ratepayers experienced a 24% rate increase. Just since 2023, Georgia Power has raised rates 6 times.
And related to those rate hikes, remember those 2 bills we mentioned earlier? We were with Patty as she was watching a live feed of the Senate floor.
Today is crossover day, which means any bill that does not get through one side of the House or the Senate to the other side is dead for the year. And right now, Senate Bill 34 is not on that list.
By later that evening, both bills had failed to get a vote. As disappointed and angry as Patty was, she wasn't too surprised.
Georgia legislators are getting soaked with money from Georgia Power. We're saying, absolutely, it is clearly corrupt. This is the highest paid utility CEOs in the country. Why is the poorest region of the country paying the most to our CEOs?
$23 million.
It's ridiculous how much money they make.
Our time in Georgia is crucial to understanding what's happening all across the country because the growth of data centers is not slowing down anytime soon. And tech billionaires have already been complaining about the amount of red tape involved in powering this growth.
Getting energy permitted is like a very heavily regulated government function. And if you're talking about building large new power plants or large build-outs, that is just a heavily regulated thing.
The regulatory body in question is the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, also known as FERC, an independent and historically nonpartisan agency that regulates interstate transmission of electricity, natural gas, and oil. But just last month, President Trump signed an executive order placing FERC under White House control. And he's been boasting about his ability to fast-track new projects.
We're going to get very rapid approvals in the United States. Like with the AI plans, under emergency declaration, I can get the approvals done myself without having to go through years of waiting.
With this alliance between the federal government, Silicon Valley, and utility monopolies, who's looking out for regular Americans like the Morrises?
During the peak season, our electric bill was maybe $250. Yeah. And now it's probably $400.
Your electricity bill has doubled. Wow.
It's been a struggle.
Every month it's a struggle. Jeff would like to retire, but he keeps working because we have to pay our bills.
Do you think that people should have to pay more because of data centers?
No, absolutely not. They should pay for that difference. It's hard enough for a regular person to pay their electric bill as it is. I don't think that's right at all.
We reached out to the big tech companies, including Meta and QTS, asking for an interview and a tour of their facilities, but both declined to participate in the story. Duran says despite the bill's failure, the fight will go on. A number of other states have similar bills up for debate right now.
The reason I think other states should pass it, whether we do or not, is that data centers could possibly come to their state next. There needs to be legislation to protect them because by all accounts, data center growth is going to be very fast.
Psalm chapter 21, verse 7 through 12, NLT. For the king trusted in the Lord Yahweh. The unfailing love of the Most High will keep him from stumbling. You will capture all your enemies. Your strong right hand will seize all who hate you. You will throw them in a flaming furnace when you appear. The Lord Yahweh will consume them in his anger. Fire will devour them. You will wipe their children from the face of the earth. Hey, that don't sound like a loving God to me. No. They will never be how you pronounce that word? Descendants. Although they plot against you, their evil schemes will never succeed, for they will turn and run when they see your arrows aimed at them. And that's it. So I forgot that video wasn't just about it ain't about chip implants, but it is connected to it. It's about data centers, the digital prison, and they need chip implants to get you people, to be part of that system. So I mean, that's all I got to say. But hey, man, it's about to go down, bro. But seek Yahweh Shema Shah, pray like heaven don't have you caught up in this system, in this world that it's gonna be all nothing but oppression. We pray the Lord get us, protect us through these crazy times. But seek the Lord by seeking his prophets and take heed what it say and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah by praying Yahweh Shema Shah, praising Yahweh Shema Shah, worshiping Yahweh Shema Shah, fearing Yahweh Shema Shah, repenting Yahweh Shema Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and nothing but the truth in the name, spirit, the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah, stay humble. And for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah, stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order. Yahweh Shema Shah. Peace and bliss to the hopeful elect, and all praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.